Our next speaker is James Trail. James has over 16 years' experience as a local government CEO, the last 6 years leading the Shire of Coolgardie. His highly developed management skills have come from working many years across industry sectors such as construction, property development, transport, fleet management, change management, business intelligence, procurement, planning, local and state governments, the legal, accounting and insurance professions. James, who graduated from the University of Western Australia with an honours degree in economics, is passionate about creating economic and community development outcomes and has overseen major projects such as the Class 3 waste facility, aerodrome upgrades, accommodation village opportunities and several other large infrastructure projects. Please welcome James.
Thanks very much. We certainly, the three of us, drew the real short straw as you did in terms of the death shift, so I'll be very quick in terms of things. I just wanted to read a presentation in relation to interesting that the Shire of Coolgardie and Coolgardie particularly, we are the home of nickel, we're right in the heart of it, and it's really interesting with the changes with lithium going on, and we talk about critical minerals, and as you all know with MinRes, mineral resources right next to us as well, we are the critical minerals hub in the Southern Hemisphere and we will be for a long time to come. So we have a social responsibility and a responsibility to work together with all of you to help you move forward, but you'll also have me chipping away at your heels to make sure that you continue to contribute the way you should do. But I'll just read this, which was interesting at the Diggers and Dealers, which was when Wyloo took over. I'm sure you've heard this, when they took over Mincor. Coolgardie is one of the most prolific nickel sulphide regions in the world. It's produced more than 1.6 million tonnes of nickel over the past 50 years or so, and it hosts some of the highest grade nickel sulphide ore bodies in the planet. This was quoting Luca. The mines in Coolgardie have 5-year mine life since the 1970s. Mining companies have historically focused on incremental extending production, but none have taken a systematic approach to the Coolgardie and Widgie Mill domes. We think the district has a huge potential and we're looking forward to investing more in exploration. So certainly from the Shire of Coolgardie's perspective, that's very exciting. We now have certainly, mineral resources in Wyloo, but it would be remiss of me not to mention that the people that have come on the journey so far, and a colleague, Steve Norregard up here with Widgie Nickel, who'll talk about it. London Metals as well, so the team from London Metals presented earlier. Cherish Metals, Karora, Wyloo, BHP Nickel West. It's pretty impressive in terms of people who we're lucky enough to have in our local government who are all trying to work together. And it's interesting that, and I'm sure you've all got the solutions, land, transport and accommodation. You've all got it sorted, haven't you? None of those issues, you've got none of those issues, any of you have, Well, of course you've all got the problems. Well, I can assure you, if you're operating outside of the Shire of Coolgardie, you don't have that problem because we have land, we have accommodation, and we're dealing with the transport issues. And to my council's credit, I give them great credit, the leadership they've shown over the last 3 or 4 years to get ahead of the game to make sure that we're, I wouldn't say trying to keep up with all of you because that's really difficult because you all move at 100 miles an hour, but we're positioning ourselves to be able to take advantage of the opportunity that the EV markets is going to create, and from a community perspective, what can we do to be part of that? So I think an example of the leadership, my council, and, I know people say, oh, well, local government's a fairly easy job, and it is different things, but, my council and councillors and myself actually had death threats on us when we were actually starting to put forward the building of a Coolgardie village. So we're now up to 320 rooms, and I know that sounds a bit dramatic to people, but people, members in the community said you're selling your soul to the mining sector. Okay, and you're selling your soul to what's going on and you're not dealing with what should be done. So to my council's credit, they stuck the course, and we now have, which we'll be very proud of, as of 2 weeks' time, we'll have 330 rooms available. So if you need accommodation, come and see us, because you'll get it. You can have it when you need it, and we're open for business. One of the exciting things that we've seen is a change in who wants to partner with the Shire of Coolgardie. So certainly for us and my council, we now have CBA as our major partner and a investor for us, which is pretty significant. And perhaps to put in, certainly not for, perhaps people like yourselves who have major investors, but for a local government of our size, $10 million worth of rates, 2,800 people, to have someone like CBA Bank coming to us, wanting to talk to us to give us a facility, is very exciting. And I understand that the facility they've now agreed on with us is actually the first of its kind across Australia in terms of funding local governments. So the reason I mention that is that's significant for us, because it means land, transport, accommodation, we can now work together with the sector, with our community, to try to help and facilitate. And just on the transport side of things, it's really interesting is in the road network, that for most of the people that are presented here, whether it's north of Kalgoorlie, south of Kalgoorlie or Kambalda, east or west, at some point in time there's a pretty good chance that some of you or most of you will move product either to Perth through the port, Fremantle, or the Esperance port in some form or another. Well, if you're going to do that, you're going to go through our local government. So really interesting that the challenge, and we're trying to prepare ourselves for that, but the interesting challenge around that is if we take Bailey Street, which is the connection basically between the east and the west, we need to do a $7.5 million upgrade on that facility. The middle 10 metres of the roads, main roads, we own the 8 metres on each side, so it's a really good deal, eh? And Main Road said they'll give us $1 million. So their answer is the answer is we'll go and talk to the mining sector, because the mining sector will help pay for it and things. So I suppose my point is that from that, transport's going to be a real challenge in terms of things. I understand, that is going to be the case. It's going to be put on road networks and things, but we all need to work together to make sure. And all I'd ask you is, it's much easier for us, and as you move forward, if you're coming through our local government, we want people, we want economic development, we want things happening, but please just let me know. The earlier you let me know, what's going on in terms of different things, then I can try to position things to have conversations with the council about what we can do, to work together. But just in finishing, I was here, been very privileged to present at the last conference. Certainly, as I said to the chairman of Pay Dirt, that Kambalda and nickel is the heart of Kambalda. We're the heart of nickel and things as well, and we want to continue to come on the journey, and it's only appropriate that I'm here to listen and learn and continue to work together to try and do our bit to help all of you to bring things to fruition, and by doing that, our community will benefit. So in finishing, very privileged that we now have, as I say, people like fighters and people working hard, Widgie Nickel, Lunnon, Cherish Metals, Wyloo, Karora, BHP Nickel West and Wyloo, and we have Mineral Resources and others from a lithium perspective. So it's a very, very exciting time for the Shire of Coolgardie, and we are the critical minerals hub of the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you.